Oh, yeah, I guess we're making a video on this one. April 29th, NFL Draft Day. That's what we're talking about, right? Yeah. So Canucks lose this one 4-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs here on Thursday, April 29th. Like I just said, man, I am out of it after watching this one. Braden Holtby versus David Rittich. Big save Dave was a little bit better tonight. He only faced 16 shots, though. Kole Lind makes his debut. We were hyped up for this one. I made a video about that yesterday morning. So he ended up on a line with Brandon Sutter, Tyler Mott. This made Jake Virtanen also get back into the top six with Miller and Besser. Jace Howerluck was scratched. Jalen Chatfield came in for Levy, so he was on a pair with Alex Edler. Tyler Myers playing with Nate Schmidt instead of Edler tonight, and Ben Hutton making his debut for the Toronto Maple Leafs, since the Leafs were basically just resting some players after clinching the playoffs, taking maintenance days because, well, they can. They're against the Vancouver Canucks, and they've already clinched a playoff spot. So in this one, 2 minutes in, Alex Edler, Wayne Simmons drop the gloves. Simmons beats the heck out of Edler. This is the code at work. Because player safety decisions are never enough. You always got to fight the guy after. Alex Edler's first career fight, he didn't know what he was doing. He got cut pretty good. Had the ice pack on him. There's just a waste of time. And there was an excellent point here made by John and John on the broadcast that there was no instigator called on this one. And I mean, it was clearly instigated by Wayne Simmons, and especially if you're comparing it to that Travis Hamonic instigator from last week. Like, this was much more of an instigator. And it was the same ref that called the instigator penalty on the ice that didn't call it this time. So, consistency, the NHL's forte. Basically, nothing happens in this first period until there's 4.5 minutes left. A bad giveaway by Quinn Hughes. Canucks not able to clear the zone because of it. How many times have I said that in these videos? The puck ends up on William Nylander's stick. He's all alone in front. Goes 5-hole on Holtby. 1-0 Toronto. Shots in the first period. 7-2. So 9 shots total in the first period. I honestly don't remember anything that happened in the first period. Second period, 51 seconds in, Marner, Matthews 2-on-1, little 1T to Matthews, rips it over Holtby. I think he's got like 36 on the season now. It's 2-0. Then 2 minutes after that, Travis Hamonic fails a pinch, gets an odd man rush the other way. Pierre Engvall gets a little pass on the right wall, and just a shot gets right past Holtby. And it's 3-0, just like 3 minutes into the second period. And we know the game's over, right? We were looking at the Canucks and we're saying, okay, they're already not moving at all. They literally had 2 shots in the game to this point, and the Maple Leafs had 3 goals. It wasn't looking good. Canucks do end up getting a power play. It gets killed off by the Leafs. Another penalty for the Leafs with about 6 minutes to go in the second period. Liljegren goes to the box. Canucks actually looked fine on this power play. A decent setup. They did give up 2 2-on-1s, though, the other way. I don't understand how the penalty kills are always getting more chances than the Canucks power play is, but I guess that's the world we live in now. In the dying seconds, though, random rebound goes all the way to the far left wall onto the stick of JT Miller, who just smacks it towards the crease. And like when I say smacks it, this was the definition of smacks it. Like the puck came and he just went like, meh, with his stick. And he smacked it. It was going all the way to the far corner and it hit Riddick's pad and went in. Kind of like that Tanner Pearson goal from last week. That was terrible. So it would have gone wide. Goes in off the pad. 3-1. But again, this isn't one of those goals where you look at it and you're like, oh, maybe the Canucks are back in it. 3-1. We're tight. It's a tight game. We're, just a couple more. We're back in it. No, it was like, okay, we scored one. Great. Second period was a little bit more interesting. Shots ended up being 11-9, but still not very exciting. And man, my third period notes are extensive here, folks. I have 3 things. 1, Tyler Mott not on the bench to start the third period. He took a hit from Liljegren in the second. Liljegren looked like he was sort of bracing himself for contact with Tyler Mott, but he gets the shoulder up. Looks like it was shoulder to head on Tyler Mott. Really hoping it's not a head injury, but I think that might be the main concern. He didn't return to the game. The Canucks basically tweeted out like 5 minutes into the third period that he would not return, which is never a good sign when it's just out of the question. Hopefully, these games that are pretty much meaningless at this point, and after battling through COVID and basically everything else they've had to go through in this season, having like a concussion or something like that would just be icing on the cake at this point. Just unfortunate. Hopefully he is okay. And then nothing happens for about 19 minutes in the third period. Mitch Marner scores in the last minute. Holtby with a bad giveaway from behind the net, but it doesn't matter. Puck goes to Marner in front, 4-1. And then, yeah, literally nothing of interest happened. Nothing that made me feel like it was worth noting down. Shots in the third period. Now, keep in mind, most teams get about 30 shots a game, about 10 per period. Toronto had 6, Vancouver had 5. There were 11 shots in the third period. The total shots for this game were 24 for Toronto and 16 for Vancouver. There was literally 40 shots. Toronto went out, they scored a couple goals, and they said, all right, we're just gonna shut the Canucks down for the rest of this game. We're gonna take it easy because we're fine. And to their credit, they really didn't have to do much more. So only 40 shots in this one, basically a complete snoozer. And we're at the point where these games just seem like it's going to be a bit of a slog for the next 3 weeks or so here. So stoked about that. Let's get into the pluses and minuses. The pluses. I've got more pluses than minuses in this one, which might shock you because the minus is big. The first one, I thought Kole Lind looked all right. He did end up getting some time in the third period. He came out with Horvat and Pearson. So he got some top 6 ice time. Travis Green, liked his energy. Ended up getting 16 minutes of ice time or so. So that's a plus. He played 16:43. He had 2 shots on goal. Obviously no points. With only the 1 goal coming in this one for the Canucks. But I thought he played okay. And I think Travis Green must have as well, because he did get put into that top 6, basically pushing Virtanen down the lineup. How many times have we seen Jake Virtanen in the top 6 to start a game and not finishing it? Basically every time Jake Virtanen has been in the top 6, that has been the case. I thought Jalen Chatfield had a pretty good game. He had a couple nice defensive plays, but again, I don't remember much. I took that note after he made the second play that I thought was that I thought was good, and then I just sort of zoned out. And then the draft odds. While we're here, folks, the new staple here on the channel, and of course, now that I do it, it's not working. Here we go. Oh, wrong button. Run it. Let's go. Let's sim the draft lottery while we're here. Canucks with the 10th best odds. The loss in this game moves them ahead of Calgary. Of course, Arizona doesn't have their pick. We don't know what that's going to do. Canucks up to 7.3% chance of being top 2. Let's run it. And the Canucks stay at 10. Okay, well, that was fun. Anyways, let's put that away. That's actually all the pluses I had. The minus is the whole game. Basically 2.5 hours spent watching a team that has no energy. And again, they had COVID. Again, no fault to them. I'm not saying they're not trying hard. They're gassed. And it is clear that they're gassed. And the schedule is only getting harder from here on out, folks. But basically a game where nothing happened. Like I said, literally 40 shots total. There was never any excitement for potential for a comeback. And this was a 2-goal game for most of the game, right? The entire third period and the last 5 minutes of the second period, it was a 2-goal game. But there was never any all right, they just got to get one and they're back in it. That just didn't happen. There was nothing interesting. There was no excitement. There was no potential or anything that happened in this game. It was just a complete snoozer, I don't have words for it. This game bored the words right out of me. Honestly, that's literally all I have. That's my minuses. You can follow me on Twitter at ParkersPucks. The Canucks play on Saturday. That's at a time. I don't know when. Are you gonna watch it? I mean, I'm going to, because I'm making these videos, but am I excited about it? Not really. Okay. That's it, guys. That's it. If you're still here, appreciate you boosting the watch time. Leave a comment, leave a like, do all that stuff. See you next time.